to let everyone, the crowd just kind of trickle in for a second. And turn my other computer on mute. So if you guys see us, feel free and pop into the chat and let us know. You guys always know I need the validation that you guys can see and hear us before I start. And we'll just let people come in for a moment. But we were just on a live stream before this. So we're kind of doing this back-to-back game, which is kind of fun and exhausting at the same time. But we were just
crazy.
on with, we were just on with NFT London meetup, chatting about async, which was a fun stream to kind of get everyone on there. Not everyone, but a good portion of people on there chatting about async and what they're doing on it. And you had some pretty cool stuff to show.
Yeah.
Sweet. Anonymous Nobody, thanks for popping in the chat so we know that you guys can see us and hear us. And I'll still wait a couple minutes just to have people come in, and then we can get to the meat of the questions soon too. Awesome. Hey Mag NFT, welcome.
Hey man.
Hey Brooke Hawk. Sweet. Okay, we have people flowing in. Let's get started. Skeenee, I'm super excited to have you on here. I came upon your art just through Twitter a while ago, and you're really, really talented. And then I discovered that you're also a tattoo artist. You're using Artivive to do some really cool AR within your work. You also have like live burned things, like set things on fire, which I think is so cool and so unique, and not something that you often yeah, not something you often see. So I want to just talk about all of your work and kind of like get into the process behind it and what inspires you. But before we go through all of that, do you want to introduce yourself for a second, and then I'll probably ask you just how you got introduced to NFT art or crypto, which came first. So yeah, can you tell everyone a little bit about that?
All right, do you want me to go back to my how I started creatively, or just?
I guess start from the beginning. Let's hear it all.
Okay, well, I've always loved drawing, and growing up it was something that was like kind of frowned upon. So I started. I never really had any traditional art education. So I went to university, and after university, I managed to save up some money, and I went to Vancouver for a year to study animation. So like basically my artistic formation is I'm an animator, and I animated. Well, the medium that I studied died when I was studying because I love traditional animation, and now everything is 3D or Flash basically. So when I finished studying, I came back to Europe from Vancouver, and I worked in commercial animation, doing publicity, mini games, and boring stuff like that for 10 years, and got completely burned out. So that's why I started tattooing. It's quite a recent thing, actually. I only started tattooing something like 5 years ago.
Wow.
And yeah, well.
And you went from like, you said you were doing like animations to then you're doing something like tattoos, which is not animated. It's just still, static art, and it's so permanent, placing it on someone's body. So that's an interesting, like, why did you get interested in tattooing?
Well, I always liked tattoos. That's something that I always had in the back of my mind, but I went for animation because I thought my skill weren't good enough to actually, take the risk of scaring people for life. And after the experience, after getting like a lot more experience for like tattooing 10 years, I remember the time that I actually took the decision. I was getting a tattoo, if I was getting a chest tattoo by this Mexican friend of mine, and she was telling me how awesome her life was. And she was traveling, she was making friends, meeting cool artists and everything. And at the time, I was in one of the lowest periods of my life, just doing shitty commercial work. And as she was tattooing me and telling me about her life, I just took the decision to, that's it, drop it. And the next day, I called my clients, dropped them all, and looked for an apprenticeship in tattoo.
Wow. That's really unique and that's really hard to do. I also felt the same, was hating my job and was like, I'm too young to hate my job. I'm gonna switch and like do something else and like quit that day kind of thing. But that's really hard to do, and that's not.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, you lose the stability, but it's also like there's so much that could be promised in the future, so it's worth it.
the thing is, like, I was really prostituting my art to make things that didn't make sense, and I was making money, but I wasn't seeing my skill improving. And at the end of the day,
Mm,
that's what motivates me. It's not I don't well, I need money, but I don't really care about it. It's more improving my craft that motivates me. So the
interesting.
decision was plus I think at the time I was 35, so it's the time of your life when you start you know you gotta be heading in the right direction or you're gonna be fucked. So
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I decided to take the risk,
That's
and it
so
worked. So
interesting. Yeah, no, it totally worked. We have a couple questions coming in on the side that I'll pop in while we're chatting through this. Did
yeah.
you, Brooke Hawk asked, did you animate any shows that we may have heard of?
No, actually, I dived straight into I sold out straight for animation. I went straight into doing commercials and well, just animating like stupid mini games and like I don't know, like at the point I was doing a lot of work for those interactive how do you call it? Digipoint it was called in Belgium. It's like those boards they put in shops and you can play mini games and then you get coupons. Yeah, nothing very glamorous, but yeah, it was pretty fun.
Okay. Oh, and Easy and Crypto said, "Will you tattoo my avatar?" That'd be pretty cool to
Sure,
sell
yeah.
some CryptoVoxel wearables with tattoos. Um, and yeah, he also said you got to follow your passion. Anonymous Nobody said, "What's your favorite piece of art that you've done?" Which I don't know if you want to talk about now, or maybe you can talk about as we continue the conversation. Up to you.
I don't know. I guess I don't know if I have a favorite. There's a lot of pieces that I like technically, but I have a tendency to detach myself from my art. So I do as best as I can to make the piece, and then at a point I just okay, that's it, I'm done, and I
Hmm.
don't touch or think about it anymore. So
That's hard to do, but that's a good practice, or else you like keep trying to work on it, and maybe you
yeah,
ruin it at some point.
it's that moment you have to let go, or it never ends. That's the thing. Like you need to have the discipline to actually choose when to let it go. Like I couldn't let my paintings go before, and I never finished anything. So
Yeah.
that's something that I learned.
So while you were, you're tattooing and you're living out your passion, which is so awesome, how did you discover crypto first or did you discover NFT art first? What was your path
All
there?
right, so it's basically Maker Place that recruited me. Like I was posting a lot, but I was quite active on various social media. And I think they must have seen my work on either Instagram or Elo, and they contacted me. Like, and I had never heard of crypto art or NFT or nothing, so they just introduced me to it, and that's when I fell into the rabbit hole. Really. Like I remember, like I just uploaded everything on their site, and I was reading MetaMask, but it said MetaMask, and I started digging into that, and by downloading MetaMask on their on the, the main menu, I think you have that's why I discovered Send basically. I just discovered Send through MetaMask, crypto voxels, and yeah, everything developed from there.
That's so interesting because Katie Arrington, who was on here, I think it was last week, also said
Yeah.
that that's how she got into the space by Maker's
Oh,
Place
really?
recruiting them or her. So good on you, Maker's Place. That's super
That's
awesome.
they're doing
Um,
a great job at
yeah.
bridging. I think it's
Yeah, and she said that like for her, they were like kind of like asking her over and over again. And she's like, and then finally she was like, they sent her an email of like what an artist can make and has made on the platform, and then she's like, okay, what do I have to lose? Like, let me just give it a shot. So that's really, really cool. And that's awesome that they're doing that, just bringing more, traditional digital or physical artists within the space just by reaching out and kind of making that happen for them and walking people through that. I love that. Um, so once you discovered like Maker's Place and NFT art in general, was it like an aha moment for you that you could like sell your art digitally and don't even did you feel like, because you mostly do physical art, is that correct? Or at
Yeah,
least
yeah, I
before?
do a lot of. I do most of my art is physical. No,
Right.
But I used to do a lot of digital when I was
Mm-hmm.
doing a corporate job in animation, and then with tattoo, I completely switched to physical, and now basically I'm merging both really. Like
Yeah.
even the animation I'm doing, and I'm reworking my workflow, but I like to include. I don't know if you've seen the bird that I've done
Yeah,
recently. The little,
I've
yeah,
seen the bird.
and now I'm gonna. But what I'm doing, what I'm planning to do, is to draw it digitally, like breaking it down already digitally, like kind of making a blueprint of my of the animation digitally, then painting it and scanning it and bringing it back to digital
That's
and
really
adding
cool.
AR and everything over it. But
Yeah. And how did you get interested in AR? Just seeing like other artists in the space use it, or had you used it before?
I think I had seen. I don't know. It's a good question actually. I think I had seen it before, but I never really. It might have been your one of your pieces actually. Like I've seen it, somebody use it, and I think it might have been one of your T-shirts. I've seen
Yeah,
a
yeah.
video of a guy in the party with a T-shirt. I was like, that's cool.
And
I
it's
gotta
so
try
easy.
it out.
People don't realize how easy it
Yes.
is. It's like just everyone should, if you see, I mean, normally with my posts I always tag like what I'm using. So like it's easy enough for anyone to use, which is so cool.
Yes, really.
And it gives it like a big impact factor.
And I don't know, I just discovered not so long, like a month ago, that had 3D layers, and that opens a
Yep.
world of possibilities. That's the thing I'm gonna. Well, I plan all the paintings that are there. Like I always keep my originals, and
Hmm.
one day I'm gonna sell them. But I plan to add AR and animation. Well, again, that's a big wish I have, but I want to put animation in AR in all of them. So maybe I can
Yep.
do some kind of holographic frame that comes out with information, the the process and everything, because I film everything that I do. So I have a process video of my work, and it'd be
Which
nice
is
to
so
include that
cool
in.
that you do that.
I love doing that. It's at the beginning it was a way for me to critique my work really and review my techniques, but then yeah, I kind of like the way it looks, so I figured people might like it as well.
Yeah, no, I think that's amazing. It's such a cool experience when you get to see the artist's work from like start to finish and like how it changes in that like short time lapse.
Yeah, I love
Um,
that.
yeah, it makes it so much more special. And also it's kind of that like proof of work like thing. Like you're actually showing like the process that you took to create it, and obviously your work is by hand, so it gives it that added, special factor. Um, Someone at Frank Conway asked, why use the skull as your main subject?
I get that question all the time. I I don't know. I've always I guess I wasn't planning to make that many skill. It was like when I started this series, it was a way to well, there was many reasons behind it. It's just because skull is so abstract and difficult to draw that you really need but it's just it's a good exercise in synthesizing. I don't know if you can say that. Like just really boiling things down to the main detail, the main curves.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, it's popular in tattoo, so I kind of went with it.
Yeah,
And well, and I don't know, I always like skulls, pirates and stuff like that since I was a kid, so
yeah, that's fair.
it
There's
made sense.
certain things that you're drawn to,
Mhm.
visually, and then once you
And
explore it, you just want to go deeper and deeper. So,
well, my end game really, but what I really love to draw is the human figure.
mm-hmm.
And I was doing a lot of live drawing, but then I noticed years ago that I was lacking the core, so I started learning how to draw the skeleton. And but those are things that I don't show really, but I've also done a lot of studies about muscles, like studying all the muscles work together. And my plan for this year was to make a whole like live drawing like series, but I never had time to start it with everything that happened.
Yeah, there's a
But
lot
it's
going
yeah,
on for sure, but you can always continue to do that.
I
Um,
uh,
Wow, totally. Anonymous Nobody said, wow, totally different angle. I couldn't imagine art before knowing about crypto. Was it a big leap to accept a payment you weren't familiar with? So to
no,
accept the.
I've always been into crypto, but I didn't know
Oh,
about crypto art. Yeah, I've learned about Bitcoin a long time ago. Like I think it was probably like 10 years ago. I read the white paper and I loved it from day one. I actually started. I wanted to. I think it was in Canada at the time, and I started trying to figure out how to mine. Then I was like, shit, I'm not here to do that. I'm here to study animation. That's the first time in my life that I had the opportunity to actually learn how to draw. So I stopped that and I focused on animation. And then, yeah, well, I mean, I would probably have been the guy who spent 10,000 Bitcoin on a pizza anyway. So
Yeah.
that's
That's funny. That's interesting. I didn't know that you knew about crypto before it, so that's kind of cool. It was an easier transition for you versus
yeah.
like someone else like Katie who had no idea what she was getting herself into.
I had never heard about crypto art though. That was a really big surprise for me. But I love the concept right away. It's just such a cool thing, and it's clearly the future. I mean, look at how popular online games get and how virtual items get a lot of value to people's lives. They're not even on the blockchain, so
Yeah,
there's no doubt to me that this is gonna be this is the future.
that's really exciting. That's awesome to hear, and that you jumped into it. How when do you remember when your first minted piece was with Makerspace?
Uh, yeah, it was. So they contacted me, I think, last June, and
Okay.
I already had all my work was already digitalized, like all my painting. I filmed them, and then well, since I sell prints, I need to have a high resolution scanning of all of them. So it was really easy for me. Like just before going on holiday, I think I had 20 paintings already digitalized, and I just dropped everything as a batch on a Makerspace, which was not a good move, but yeah, I didn't know anything.
Yeah, it's totally it's a learning process for sure.
Yeah, I
Um,
should have. Yeah.
the oh yeah, Mag NFT said I see the skull collection behind you, which I'd love to explore that with you too. Love the skulls. Skulls are great for shape and texture. So true. I'm just reading some of the comments. You can light a skull in so many ways to manipulate the. Sorry, my chat gets a little cut off. The peaks and valleys. Skulls are fun to work with, aesthetically pleasing as well. Um, I've recently tried drawing skulls inspired by Skeenee. Need to keep practicing. That's awesome,
Difficult.
Gigi. That's really
That's
cool.
good.
Um, so that's awesome. I love that. I mean, your works are so detailed, and really seeing the time lapses like are super inspiring, showing what you do. And you can tell like when you put out a piece, you can tell um, that it is a skinny piece, which I think is really
Thank you.
awesome, and a big thing. And do you normally work on like the scale that we're seeing behind you? Like, what's the biggest piece you've done?
I used to make very big pieces, but it's just super difficult to sell. That's I love to paint big, and if I could, I would only do that. But they take a lot of time to demand a lot of resources, and they're impossible to sell because it's just not practical. People that the shipping is a pain in the ass, costs you a fortune, and most people don't have the room to put that in their place. So that's
Yeah.
why I really like I reduced my like I used to paint a lot of big canvas like that. Then I reduced it to an A3, which I reduced to an A4, and now I think I'm like those small things are the ones that sell the best because they're easy to ship. People can put them in their place,
Yeah.
and they're much faster to produce as well.
Yeah,
So it's just a
absolutely.
question of being practical.
And
But
so
what
do
sells
you,
the best is NFT anyways.
yeah. Do you sell, you said that you keep, I think you said that you keep a lot of your originals. Do you also sell originals on your website?
I've sold a few to people. Well, I've gifted a few to artists that I liked,
Oh,
and
cool.
so yeah, I mean, I like to make art trade with artists that like what I do, that I like, and yeah, I've sold a few to people that I like really. Because Boulogne, I don't know if you know him.
Yeah.
He's been the work, so he owns a lot of my pieces, of my originals. Like, he's one of the first one that started buying my work, and when he likes some of my pieces, I usually, well, yeah, I'm okay sending them to him.
That's
But
very
I
nice of
try
you.
to keep as many as I can.
Yeah. No, that's a good. It's always funny because with my NFTs I do additions and I keep number one most of the time, and it's a
What is it?
way. Yeah, it's a way
Yeah,
to invest in yourself to hold that
exactly.
value, and be able to, if you'd like, sell it later or do something special with it. So I'm totally with you. Um, we had some comments come in. Oh, go ahead.
No, no, like my I do something similar. It's like my first edition. I bundle them with a skull de blue, as I call them, and I sell them for a higher price. Golden bundle that do blue, who's it's basically a lottery token for collectors that I will be using in the future. Not many people have bought it, but it'll be useful someday.
And it's your it's is it with roll?
Yeah, it's with skull. That's the skull exclusive thing that I do.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And how do people buy it, or do you give it away for like certain people showing up somewhere, or how does that distributed?
The skull, you mean skull?
Yeah.
My social, yeah, I use it to promote my pieces. Just like the last event that we did to promote the async piece, the billboard event. Like there was a lot of drop hidden in the billboards, and the winner of the photo contest got a significant amount of skull. But you can also buy it through Uniswap.
Okay. Very cool.
So, and I've installed my skull ATM in my gallery as well. Like
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Your gallery is really beautiful in CryptoVoxels, and I think we're gonna jump into that as well. Frank Conway, I first discovered NFTs and crypto art after seeing a tweet of Josie's at a conference and a guy wearing a tee designed by her. Bought the tee, now inspired by all of your artists in the space. I've taken up sketching. That's so cool. Right now,
Yeah.
painting, listening to this great show. Thanks for sharing that, F. Conway. Natural warp. Haha, feel you. The only reason why I don't sell my car is to be in the possibility to drag my huge prints around to exhibitions. Yes.
Yeah.
Um, that's awesome. NFTs are so much easier, new world for me, to be honest. Awesome. Welcome, Natural Warp. NFTs are super exciting. Dat Ogar, skinny rules. Very true. Um, and that's awesome to hear
Okay.
that NFTs are a new world for you, because it's a little bit of a learning curve for people at the beginning, but once you get in, the
Mhm.
community is so accepting and helping.
It's
Um,
incredible community, really. That's
yeah,
the force behind it, really. Like I don't think I've seen such a positive and like encouraging and tight community ever. It's like
yeah,
I worked with a lot of artists, but in general, there's always this stupid competition that makes absolutely zero sense. That doesn't exist at all here, and I
agreed.
don't know, that's how it should be, really.
Yeah, there's enough room for all of us, and we all have different
Yeah,
styles. And being inspired by people is like really awesome and flattering. It's not necessarily a bad thing. And yeah, there's room for all of us in this space, which is exciting.
and so much
Anonymous.
talent as well. It's
Yeah.
no,
Oh,
there's so much
absolutely.
talent, and like right now I'm working with rare designers. I
Yeah.
I know how to draw more or less, but that guy draws so well. It's
He's
really
so
humbling to work with
talented.
people. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you want to show us a little bit around your studio and some of
Sure,
the
yeah.
pieces, and then we'll also show us some cryptovoxels and maybe some stuff you're working on with Rare Designer?
Okay, I'll try to wait because I figured how to do that before. I need to move my mic to my headset. Uh, and the camera.
And Easy said the community here is phenomenal. Reminds me of indie film industry, but even more inclusive. That's awesome, Easy.
You still hear me?
Yep,
I don't
we
know
can
if
hear
that.
you.
All right, so that's okay. That's my one of my drawing desk. I'll just go quickly around the studio, and that's where I paint. Actually, like it's kind of well, the studio used to be okay. Basically, like I live on the first and second floor of
Okay.
of this house I lived in a few years ago, and this used to be a fruit shop basically. There was nothing. It was just a big hole and just a dirty place. And I like in the course of those, I don't know if you see much actually, but in the course of, do you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
So that's the tattoo place. Power tattoo. and where I have a drawing desk with a video setup here for big pieces, and
Is that where you time lapse and draw all your stuff is at that table out there?
that's where I usually draw them. Yeah, and I just basically like this room. I just finished installing everything during the the lockdown. So that's a new desk that I built, and yeah, so that has been my camera back.
That's awesome. And do you actually use
It,
that skeleton in the back for reference?
yeah, that's so like I encourage any artist to do that. I always use to get very good reference on anything that you're drawing. It's the only way to do proper drawings, really.
Yeah.
So I try to collect as many skills and well,
Your place is really cool. So when I imagine, and it could just be I have tattoos as well. I got my tattoos when I was very young, and I actually, if I didn't have any of them right now, I wouldn't get a single one over again.
no,
Not saying that I like fully regret them, but they're just like, I got them all before I was 18. So I think I got my first one when I was 14, which is like insane when I think
yeah,
about how young that was.
we
But your
we get
tattoo
that
shop
a
is
lot.
cool. Your tattoo shop is
Thank you.
like, and it's
It's
I
yeah,
imagine.
well, I used to.
Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
sorry. No, go finish.
Oh no,
Finish.
I was just gonna say I imagine like when I think of a tattoo shop, I think of like many tattoo artists like working in the same area, and your space is so personal, which is like really cool.
Yeah. But basically, I used to own like the first shop I opened with my mentor was a very commercial shop. Like, and I worked there for a few years. But then I realized that, well, first of all, I had to drop it because I had problems with him. Like, we were disagreeing on core issues. But I realized that the majority of my time was spent managing the shop or dealing with clients that were just, I mean, you can imagine the amount of stupid question and
Yeah.
time we lose with some clients. And I was like, yeah, what's the point? So when I bought this house, there was this space down here that but I don't have to pay rent, so I just took my
Yeah.
time to refurnish it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not. It's not like a public studio. It's my private studio. I only take my clients or people that see my design on social media, and yeah, I
That's
don't
awesome.
want to open my studio to the public because it's just too much wasted time.
Yeah, no,
I
no,
might
it's
do
the
it one day,
perfect,
but
more intimate setting. Also, sorry, you might still be on audio from your
yeah,
phone. I don't know if you
sorry,
switched over.
I forgot to that was terrible headset. Uh,
That should be better now.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. All
But
right.
yeah, no, thank you for showing us. That was really cool. We've gotten a couple on this show, like a couple little tours, but I love that you just like toured that whole area. People anonymous and nobody said that place is rad. This is my dream studio right here.
Thanks, mate.
Um, oh, Ven Droiken. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. What's the skeleton's name?
My daughter called him Jack. Yeah, he
Jack?
does have actually. Yeah, well, she likes Nightmare Before Christmas. So Jack was not good. So.
That's awesome. Those time. Oh yeah, Easy said those time lapses are off the hook. Very true. Natural
Thank
Warp said
you.
thanks for sharing. McMuse, no regrets. Sometimes I definitely have some regrets, but I'll say no regrets. Um, Anonymous Nobody. My tattoos are like roadmap of my life. Maybe wouldn't get the same things at this point, but it's about the journey. That's a really cool way to look at it.
I agree.
And
I have so
Easy.
many stupid tattoos.
Oh yeah, even
Are you
you.
honest?
That's good to
Oh,
know.
I love them tattoos. That's the thing. Like, I think my favorite one, I got a lot of good ones. My favorite one is, it's stupid. It's like a tattooer friend of mine. We're just drinking together. That's how you get your best tattoos.
Yeah.
Or worse tattoos. And I got like on my toes, I got a Pac-Man, then a little ghost on each one of my toes.
Okay, that's awesome.
I know it's stupid, but it's
See,
my
that's
favorite.
cool. That's cool. I've actually had a tattoo removed that was on my shoulder, my first one I got. But that's because I mean, it could be a stupid like topic, but it also like looked like the tattoo artist did not do a good job. Like it looked really bad. So that's why I was like, okay, it's got to go. And I'll tell you guys, tattoo removal hurts way more than getting a tattoo.
Yeah.
So better not to remove. Um, and then, oh yeah, someone said, I would, Vin Droykin said, I would buy a tattoo from Skeenee and ETH.
You can. You can buy
yeah.
the skull if you want. No problem.
Yeah. NFT Lander, I'm tattoo free, just never found one I was positive I wouldn't regret. And then also, as we're reading these, I want to ask you why do you go by the name Skeenee? How did that come about?
Well, okay. That's. I used to do a lot of graffiti when I was a teenager, and that's just the name that I use when my graffiti name. I passed to video games and I kept it as an artist.
Cool.
People told me it was a stupid choice. Like when I was doing traditional painting, they always told me, "Oh, you should sign the road name, you know, fancy shit." I don't know. I like
it, and it's very like it's memorable. So
there you
go. I think that's a cool name.
I've always kept that name.
No, that's a very good one to keep. Stuck with the gamer tag. Same here. Someone else said. McMuse said. It's always oh cool, anonymous nobody. I almost lost my leg. Let a friend tattoo me. Oh, not cool. Sorry. I almost lost my leg. Let a friend tattoo me when he was 18, and that thing got so bad. Oh, that's not a good situation.
It's a lot of bad tattooers. You have to be careful who you let tattoo.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like the people don't understand that this is serious business. I'm tired of clients arguing it's something that we get. So that's too expensive. Like most people just want to get the cheapest tattoo possible, and that's what shit like that.
Yeah, totally.
You need to choose your tattoo properly.
And so
not shit down on that. Yes.
Oh, before quarantine, how often are you tattooing? And obviously through lockdown, it's changed, but.
No, lockdown. I haven't been tattooing since. It's been 3 months that it's dead, and I think it's gonna be a huge problem for a lot of tattooers. It's basically our peak period of the year is between March to June, and then here it gets too hot, so people don't get tattooed, and they go on holiday. So basically, we've lost our peak period. It's 3 months of full profit that are gone. And during the summer, it's too hot here, so you don't tattoo in Madrid. People usually go from convention to convention to tattoo, and all the conventions are dead. So I think it's gonna cause the end of many studios here in Spain.
Yeah.
But before that I used to tattoo in because I've sold my commercial studio. It's been 2 years ago. So I was tattooing here, my personal client, and in a tattoo shop of friends that have their own studio around here in Madrid.
Sure. And have you ever thought about, I know we've kind of talked about this off the stream, but adding some AR to your tattoos, other people's tattoos?
No, definitely, of course. That's on my to-do list. I'll definitely do that. I'll eventually do that. But
that's really cool. I've always joked about, I was at a conference in Mexico, and people were asking me about my tattoos, and I had my AR art up there, and I was making jokes that I didn't like my tattoos, and the AR makes them disappear. And they were literally trying to scan my arms, and I was like, no, I'm kidding. But actually, maybe I should.
No, but you can do it.
Yeah.
It actually registers. It has to be a good tattoo that lasts in time, because a lot of them just spread. But there's no problem. If the shapes are simple enough and you have enough big areas of plain colors, you just register it without problem. I've tried it already. It can be done.
No, that's very cool. Sorry, I was just reading through some of the comments. They were talking about the AR with the tattoos, which is just a super cool idea to have. Obviously, people can wear t-shirts with AR on them, but to then have something that is on your body that's moving and doing something, it's just a weird idea. You're a walking piece of art. And I actually think that would probably make me like my tattoos a lot better. So I should totally explore that idea.
Good. You could do it. Huh?
Yeah. I also want to ask you about your. I've seen some of your work in Cryptovoxels and the really cool gallery on fire that you made in Gangnam, and you've also want to show maybe something that you've been working on or gallery you've been working on in Crypto Voxels. I think everyone
sure.
would love to see that, another little tour.
I like a year ago I discovered Crypto Voxels, and just through MetaMask as well. And so the first time I looked in, I was like, what is this? It's just, there was nothing at the time. It's just white cubes and crap, really.
Yeah.
And then I saw that the neighborhood was called, one of the districts was called Banks. Instead of Bank, I went to check it out. And there I found, I remember what got me into this is that I basically first I found a crypto rose gallery, which is cool. People are using it to put art. It's pretty cool. And next to it, this M. Lipty's gallery, and his gallery was awesome at the time. He had like
whose gallery?
It was one of M. Lipty.
Okay.
Lipty.
Yeah.
He was one of the first to use voxel models. He had his how does it called? His shadow people basically watching his artwork. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, this is so cool. This is gonna become so big. And I think the next day I was trying desperately to find a spot to buy around this gallery, which I did. That's my first parcel that I bought. Is in Punks, I think 2-3 streets away from the studio. And anyway, so I completely, no, I'm in the process of revamping my gallery, my skull gallery. And I made a little video of it that I can show you. Wait, I'm trying to.
Does it let you share the screen?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to share my screen, but I'm trying to recite the video at a proper size. And all right, so I've graded my gallery, but another cool thing that I've done thanks to Colorline is I've used this color distributor.
Yep.
I don't know if you people are familiar with this, to make a skull ATM, so people can now buy my my social money skull right in my gallery or in the skull ATM.
That's awesome.
I think I've put one in Gangnam as well, but I'm gonna try to do this screen share. And all right, is it working?
Yep.
All right, so that's okay. I'll just put it a second. I got lucky enough to be able to buy all those buildings here. And this is going to be my personal playground in the future. Like all of those buildings that you see, all the blue ones, are going to be galleries that have different type of my gallery. That I really
I don't know if we can. I'm sorry. The music sounds awesome. I also don't know if I can hear you well over the music. Just so you know.
Like this?
Oh yeah. Or you could just put the music a little quieter.
Okay. I just. So that's the skill ATM. You don't need to go into Uniswap, nothing, you just can buy it from there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's Conman's doing, the guy is amazing. Thanks a lot, Conman. Alright, so it's still a work in progress.
So epic. I love it.
Thank you. So those are new collectibles I'm working on. Wow, you can see them. Yeah, I'm working on minimalistic skulls. That each skull is gonna come in 5 different colors. They already did it on my OpenSea, but I haven't had it yet. Total shilling time.
Oh, okay, this is so cool. Love it.
That's all my. Yeah, I'm cheating big time on the height. Like I think Ben is gonna wipe it eventually, but gonna double the size of the building. See the Crypto Rose gallery just there.
Oh, yep.
The red one just there. Yeah. I don't know.
This is epic. This is so good.
Thank you. I still have a lot of work to do, but my idea is to redo the whole area as a cyberpunk team. Every single one of my galleries will have a different music stream. So in the morning when I just take my character in one of the galleries, depending on the music I want to
This is so epic.
Yeah, right.
That was so cool. That place is awesome. I love the music with it too. I love the way that, I mean, your build, you're super talented. You did it in a very clean but like enticing way, and I would totally want to walk through and see everything there. I love how you put the skeleton there, viewing the pieces. How you're just saying you were inspired by the shadow people from also don't know how to say. I say mobility, but I know I'm not saying it right. But that was really really cool. Someone said, "Oh, go ahead."
No. It's just like this is just the start. Like I'm really planning to add a lot more things and to animate. I found a way, I think, thanks to failure, to make frame by frame animation with voxels using scripting, and that will allow me to actually animate characters, like using the twinning animation, just changing the location combined with the frame to frame could make for some cool animation. But it's something that I'm gonna experiment with when I have time.
Yeah, and Spidey's made the. I think he has a script where within a certain parcel bounds, you can make a. I forget what he called it. You can make a Vox model like just walk around within a parcel bounds, like on a random whatever.
Yeah, I think it just cool. Loads and unload Voxes basically. Like you can make a series of 10 Voxes and it automatically just switches them. You still have to experiment with it, but I think you can do some really cool shit with that.
Sweet. And everyone said they're not going to tell that you're over the parcel boundaries.
Definitely, he's going to wipe that, I know.
We'll see.
But I don't care.
NFT Lander said, I just got one of his while watching. Oh, that's so cool. Portrait of the Shadow. I've used that skull ATM. Awesome. Yeah, the ATM looks really good. And I love your elevators with the arrows up and down, too.
Thanks.
Oh, cool. An electric disc actually linked. I'll check that out later. His or her favorite AR tattoo example. That's cool. Really cool. Definitely going to check that out. See you later, Natural Warp. Sweet. Hey, Dragonate. That was super epic. I love your Crypto Voxels build, and that's a really cool area to be around. And I love that you just found a place that you liked, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna buy something near this, and just make something epic.
I used to own parcel a bit everywhere, like everywhere on Origin City, and I really reconsolidated in Punks and Midtown, where I still plan to build this big crypto art museum, but that would be well, I already built one, but that was big, and now I motivated all the parcels around me, like Land, Chipmunky, to team together to build something big. But I think I want to build over my head with this one, and I haven't had time to finish it. But it's a project that I'll eventually finish with Sparrow.
That's exciting. Sparrow's awesome. I'm having her on soon too. But she, or in general, like there's so many projects that we all want to touch, but like getting them done is the complicated task when there's so little time in a day.
And
but that was impressive.
Yeah, especially now with the pandemic, like I've been with my 2 kids home 24/7, and it just killed my production output.
Yeah, your kids are really adorable, by the way. I got to see them on their stream yesterday. And your kids are really young, which I'm sure is a total handful in a time like this.
Like the boy is 1 and the girl is 4, so it's the demand stuff, constant attention. It's a challenge, but they're fun.
Yeah, no, that's I guess part of parenthood.
I'm watching the AR tattoo. It's pretty cool. I can do something like that. Cooler.
All right, I'm gonna start sending pictures of my tattoos to you, so you can make something cooler on me through AR. That's so awesome. And if people have questions in the chat, feel free and keep posting them. At the end of these, Skeenee, I don't know if you've watched the other ones, but I do like a rapid fire questions that I'm gonna do later on that are super easy and just kind of fun, get to know you questions. But if you guys have questions, definitely post them. But before that, I want to talk to you about, you can share as much as you want or as little as you want about what you have coming up in way of the new art pieces and the new collaborations that you're working on, because I got a little bit of a taste of what you're working on with Rare Designer for async.
Yeah, sure.
But if you want to share anything, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I can show you more of a few more layers of that one. For Colin, like we had to be ready with this piece like a week ago, and we keep on adding things.
It happens.
So yeah, I just wait. Okay. Where I need to set up my layers. So yeah, the story of the piece is that it's like basically in the future, human beings have reached a level of technology that's so high that you can replace all your body parts by chip-edited implants. So humans have achieved immortality, but you can cheat that easily. So they manage to keep their physical part living, but their soul slowly, like this, how do you say this? Fall into pieces. And the only way they found to keep their soul intact is to do a type of meditation that's called mindful death, in which they just reinforce their spirit, and in that way they access the realm of the dead. They can basically bring back forbidden knowledge and black magic. So, all right, the piece. Yeah, we wrote a whole story around it with Buffin.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I love to work with him. He's awesome. Like, I always have stupid ideas that are poorly written. I send them to him, and he makes
gold. That's awesome. I love that collaboration with him.
Yeah, it's really good. So, all right. Do you see my screen?
Yep.
All right, so let's review the few layers. So, stand by the head. You guys have seen this head, so I'll put a cooler one. My favorite.
Oh, I like that.
I love the work that Rare Designer is amazing. Every time he sends me a layer, I'm just completely amazed by it.
That's awesome.
All right. So torso. I don't want to reveal everything because
yeah, no need.
Material for
you wait.
I just show. Whoa, sorry. I should have done that in a better fashion.
Those shoulders are epic.
So that's one of the possible states of the piece, and then we have an extra layer that's accessory, that add accessories and some kind of mood to the piece. No, that's not. And there you go, some kind of techno saint aura. I
love that. It's kind of taking that iconic like halo thing and putting it onto something that's so.
Exactly. All right, so but I don't want to show too much of this.
No, that's perfect. That gives everyone like a taste of it, and I'm super excited to see that launch on Async. We had a question. No Shot asked, can you talk about how you and Rare work together, like the process between you two? Do you have like a handoff process?
Well, to be honest, like Rare does most of the work. Like it's just terrible. Like that's why I've been focusing on promo so much lately, because I was feeling bad that he was doing all the work. So it's just like, hey, man, I need to do something. I just do I've been drawing some very simple skeleton drawing, then I pass it to him, and he just pin them up to the max. Yeah, he does most of the work, to be honest.
He's super talented.
He's amazing, and he draws so fast and so well that I have a hard time keeping up. So I've been learning a lot with him, but yeah, it's mainly his collab. He deserves a lot of credit.
You deserve credit too. So but that piece is epic. I'm super excited to see that launch. And do you have any idea when you think it'll launch? Or are you guys still working on that?
Well, we have to launch next weekend. That's the deal. Yeah. So we're supposed to launch this weekend, but then it was impossible. And now that we have more time, we had the bad idea to start adding things to that piece, which means we're just gonna be fucked again. But
which is what you said at the beginning. You were like, I have to cut myself off, or else I'll just go too far.
Yeah, it's just difficult to stop. That's Conan's fault. Honestly, man, that's what you get from inventing such a cool platform.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna apologize.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That was a really cool piece. And then, do you have any other pieces or projects that you're working on that you want to tell everyone about?
Like, okay, I had to put all my big project on hold because I can't start big projects with the time I have. But I started making collectibles, basically small scale collectibles that are only available with Skull. Wait, I'll reshare my screen. So I've got one of them in our half-tone glitch skull that I made. Okay, well, I'm not gonna lie, they're an inspiration from. I'm completely inspired from Cody's work. Like, I don't know if you like his tapes, half-tone tapes with a chromatic glitch over them.
Okay.
And I really like that work. So it's just, what if I apply this to skulls? I started doing some experimentation with that, and so I have a bit of a presentation. So they're in my so that's basically
that's
four
awesome.
of them that just it was just a fun experimentation with halftone and chromatic glitches. I promise, Connie, I won't do more of that. It was just a test.
No, I think that's cool. I think it's awesome to be able to be inspired by other people's work and put your total own spin on it. So I think that's really cool.
And yeah, I really like his chromatic tapes, so it's kind of an homage to his work. And then I'm starting another.
And where are those collectibles going to be available?
They're in my gallery. You can, if I throw an exhibition in my gallery, but they're on my personal OpenSea contract. So if you just look for Skeenee on OpenSea, you'll find my contract.
Sweet.
And then the other collectibles I'm doing they're just minimalistic skull. So I really choose a few animal skulls that I boiled down to their bare essentials. So only keeping the main lines and limiting it to a 3-color color scheme. And every skull basically comes in oh shit, no, that's not right. It comes in like 5 different color schemes. And well, and I plan to do a lot more of those. Since I don't have much time to work on big projects, I like to do small stuff on the side.
So do you actually own skulls that look like that, or are you using images from online for reference?
I own like the goat skull that you have on the top right. This one, I own a small replica that looks like that, but all the other ones are references that I took online, that I found online. But I use them very loosely. You know, like the reference, I do my first sketch with a reference, and then I push proportions a lot to make it more attractive. So often,
very cool.
often like the final drawing is just. It's like my birds. Like I always show the reference that I use, but you can tell that I completely deviated the point to make it more attractive. But that's what I do. I don't see the point of just copying reality.
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome. I love the different colors you're playing with, the different techniques you're playing with. Everyone in the comments like both of those pieces, so that's really awesome. And if you guys have more questions, feel free and drop them here. But I think that was really great. Thank you for taking us like behind the scenes in so many different ways with your art, with your actual physical space, with your cryptovoxel space. I think that's really awesome. I do have.
Mine.
Oh, good. I do have some rapid fire questions that I'm going to ask you, and then if any questions come in, I'll ask them after the rapid fire.
I'd start myself really good.
Oh yeah, go for it. It's a little early for
me,
but it's probably the perfect time. What time is it there for you?
It's almost 10 p.m.
Oh yeah, so you should definitely be having a beer.
Legit.
What everyone always asks, what kind of beers people are drinking. Do you want to share what beer you're drinking?
Alright, so I'm Belgian, so I love Belgian beer, but this is one of my other favorites, Polander, German beer.
Okay.
It's very good, and the bottles have a proper size. So
okay, yeah. That's awesome. How many ounces is the bottle?
It's half a liter, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and 6.5, I think, percent. It's a very tasty beer. I like it.
Nice. Well, there you go. There's the beer of the stream. Um, okay, so I'm just gonna ask you questions and you can answer as we go.
All right.
Bitcoin or Ethereum?
Ethereum.
Go back 1 year or forward 1 year?
Forward. Definitely.
Last NFT or physical art piece that you purchased?
No Shots VX2.
Ah,
Two
nice.
pairs.
Which colors did you get?
I got I don't remember the name. I got the basic one and the gray with the blue line one.
Oh, cool. I think that's the dry ice.
Yeah, that's the one.
That actually would look really good on your avatar because your avatar has that blue color.
Yeah, I actually changed the color of my avatar just to match the shoes.
Oh, that's awesome.
And bought a new mohawk. Anyway, yeah.
I love that. There you go, no shot. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Well, I used to be a night owl, but now that I have kids, I'm a morning person because it's the only time of the day where I can draw in peace. But yeah, I wish I was a night owl, but not
anymore. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Decentraland, Crypto Voxels, or Somnium Space?
Come on, you don't even need to ask.
Yeah.
Crypto Voxels.
Window or aisle seat?
Window.
Okay. Someone in the past or present in crypto that you'd like to meet?
I don't know. I'm not big into celebrities, to be honest. So I would go with my my fellow artist in crypto. There's so many people I would love to have a drink with that I've met this last year. So I'd go with everybody that I've met. I can start throwing names, but
a big group of artists in the space.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome. Your favorite food?
I'd say tacos. I love tacos.
I eat tacos. I'm not even kidding. We make tacos probably 4 times a week minimum. Like I love tacos.
Yeah, you have to taste it. You know, that's one of the things that I miss the most with the quarantine. It's been 2 months and a half that we're inside, and this week we can actually go out and restaurants are starting to open.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go for tacos this weekend.
Oh yeah.
It's a given.
So good. Very underrated. Texting or calling?
I don't know. It depends on the situation, I guess. But I think texting. There's too much time wasted on calling.
Okay.
So I like to call.
Would you want to live forever?
I don't think so. I'd become insane, I think. I wouldn't mind a few more 100 years.
Okay.
But forever, I think I'd lose my mind.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Describe the NFT space in 3 words.
Say innovative, collaboration, and fairness.
That's awesome.
And maybe optimistic maybe as well, because there's a lot of that going on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Cool. Those are great answers to all of those things. We do have some questions that came in. Ronan Jin, I'm new to OpenSea. Anybody in chat familiar with how it works? Stuff is up for Skull tokens. So if someone owns Skull tokens, how can they redeem it for your work? Where do they have to go?
They just can go on my, well, if they look for Skeenee on OpenSea, they will, I have various storefronts, and all the NFTs on those storefronts are Skull exclusive.
Okay.
So you can only buy them with Skull.
Okay.
And if you don't have enough Skull, because I distribute Skull through contest or for reposting, tweeting my stuff, but if you don't have enough Skull, you can also buy it on Uniswap or through my awesome.
Through the awesome ATM. You can just do it right in Crypto Voxels, which is pretty cool.
Use it. It's awesome.
Yeah, and so you'll buy them on you can exchange your Skull for items on OpenSea.
Or just sell it for Ether if you want. For ETH. Don't do that. It breaks my
Yeah. People are laughing that you changed your avatar color to match the no-shot trainers. Oh, and someone else did that as well. InCat NFTs did that as well. Got the glows. The glows were really cool.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? F. Conway asked, Who is your favorite up and coming NFT artist?
I don't know. There's so many of them. It's difficult to say. But what do you mean by upcoming? Is like even new? I've been a bit lost. Like I haven't checked. I haven't had time to actually check the newcomers lately.
Yeah,
But
yeah. It's interesting.
It's really, I've been so busy that yeah, and it's my bad. I suck. I should be looking more to that, but
No, that's
it's hard to
okay.
keep up with
I
everything.
think, yeah, I think it's also really unique. I've seen a list of new people that are coming on to Async this month, and there were a ton of names that I didn't recognize, which I'm super
But that's
excited
awesome.
about. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, it's
super
moving
excited
so
to
fast.
see
Like,
new work enter the space and see just more talent flood in. So I always think there's going to be new artists on the scene that are super talented.
but yeah, my bad. I should keep more up to date with the newcomers. Just crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's
How fast they move.
It's a lot to keep track of. And then let's see. Oh yeah, no shot. He did. Nice three-worder. I have no idea how to get skulls. Okay. He said, Ronan Jin said, I have no idea how to get skull tokens. I found this stuff there. I hope that answer your question was answered. Also, if you could, Skeenee, I'm not sure if you're in my Discord, Ronan Jin, but
I can drop
but
some.
if you could drop the link for your CryptoVoxels parcel, so they could like actually purchase at the ATM, which is so cool. That would be awesome.
Can I drop you the link? I don't know if there's a chat in Zoom. Is there a chat in Zoom?
Oh yeah, you can drop me, and you could drop it in Zoom, or you could drop it in my Discord, and then
it's on another. Wait, yeah.
I'll drop it after regardless.
Wait, no, I'll drop it. I got the link here to my skill gallery, but I don't know why the fuck is the chat?
You want to just put it in Discord?
No, I'm gonna put it in in Discord. Okay, yeah, I'll put it in Discord. Wait, I just need to.
Because if you want, actually, that would be kind of fun. If you guys want to meet up in Discord in CryptoVoxels right now after we end this stream, just at Skeenee's gallery, that would be kind of cool. And we can even try out the ATM ourselves. And I think that might have been all of the questions that came in from the crowd. Let me see if anything else. Oh, you found it. Awesome, sweet.
I dropped it in your Discord.
Perfect. Sweet. So if you guys want to join what were you gonna say, Skeenee?
Now I'm just gonna make a roll drop. If anybody wants free skull, I'm just creating a link that I will drop in your Discord in a second.
Oh, you guys heard that. For everyone watching, there's a skull giveaway happening, which is pretty cool.
Just setting it up now. Oh, it's slow. So I'm gonna be dropping. I don't know, my computer is super slow.
That's okay. No, you're going fast. That's pretty exciting. So you guys watching, if you want to, oh, that's right, Josie. We always have you at all the meetups, so thank you.
So I'll drop 100 skull for 20 people on your Discord.
That's awesome. That's so cool. So you guys definitely claim your skull. My Discord, if I think you guys should know it, or should be in there. But I will also send an invite link right now.
It's done.
Sweet.
So first come, first served.
All right, sweet. I'm gonna drop the link in Twitch right now. If you're not on my Discord, there's my Discord, and Skeenee just dropped some skull for you guys, which is super exciting. And you said it was for the first 20 people?
20. It's 100 skull for the first 20 to claim it.
Okay, that's awesome. I think right now we have 25 people watching on the live, so you guys better hurry.
Fight for it?
Yeah. That's super exciting. Sweet. I see people coming in the Discord to claim that. All right, that was awesome. Thank you so much for coming on here and giving us a behind the scenes. You're super, super talented, and it's really exciting to just see the path that you've taken to get here and what you do in your daily life as well. And I love to hear that you're super excited about the collaborations and other artists in this space. And you're just doing so many amazing things. I'm super excited to see your new work on Async with Rare Designer.
When we finally finish it.
Yeah, and the other new work you talked about as well. I think that's is going to be really epic, and I can't wait to just see the progress.
Yeah, I got another. Well, I've got more collaboration coming with Rare, but also one with Crypto Roses, which is super cool because it's one of the first
galleries you found.
Yeah, exactly.
So will that one go on Super Rare then?
That's gonna be super rare, yeah.
Okay.
Because like from now on, I'm gonna animate all my pieces, I think, because I got my animation like mojo back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope that Async will include that eventually. But
yeah.
They're kicking ass already, so okay, that sounds like. But yeah, it'll be on super rare.
Definitely. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on. Thank you all for keeping this chat active, and you guys were so awesome with these questions. Let's hop into CryptoVoxels. If anyone wants to just check out the gallery and see the ATM, first definitely claim your skull that's in my Discord. And yeah, we'll hop on over there. Thank you so much for joining, everyone, and thank you, Skeenee.
Thanks.
All right,
bye. Thank you for having me. Bye bye.